What's good everyone, it's Zigzag here, welcome back to another Geoguessr video, and as you've seen in the title, today I'm going to try and get a blank map, no moving 5,000 point round on today's video. So I was somewhat inspired by RC, who just got an insane 25,000 no moving game on Community World. He did 5 rounds in a row and he was going at an insane pace, so shout out to RC, go check out his video. But we all know that good old Zigzag, poor little Zigzag, is not able. Oh, look at this. They just added, oh, look at this. You got all the high scores here. Anyway, as I was saying, little old Zigzag is no prodigy when it comes to this no moving and 25K stuff. But I just want a single 5K with no labels on the map. It's a lot more difficult, and let's keep in mind, I don't know place names like a lot of other people do. So this may take a while, it may take the first round, I'm not sure. If we get the first round right, then we'll go for more. But I think that this is gonna be no easy task. So presumably that might be the town name here. Of course, without town names, as I said, like most rounds like this is going to be really difficult. So even though this is pinpointable world, you got to remember that I don't know a lot of place names, and Guatemala, I really don't know many. So I think on this occasion, we will just go for a plonk, but let's see if we can kind of build up to a better score. So even finding Guatemala is kind of a challenge. This is Guatemala City. I'm going to go for this city over here, and let's just go in the suburbs somewhere like that. And indeed it was the next town up. So a good score, but of course that was not really gettable for someone like me. Okay, this one though could be more possible. We are in Malaysia here, I think. We've got like a bunch of like Arabic here. Perlis is where we are, Arau. So yeah, here's the thing. I know where Perlis is, that's fine. We can be all the way up here on the border. So I'd imagine this is where we are. Now, is this at all possible? It is actually, with the road angle, I think theoretically possible here, especially because we have a pretty distinct bend. So we'll give this one a go, I think. Yeah, I think this is actually worth a go because the road angle is pretty distinctive, but I still think this is going to be a tough challenge. So let's just see here. It feels like a fairly main road. Could be something like this. So we need it to kind of bend around both ways. You can see up to the north here, it bends around to the west, and down to the south, it also, it bends to the east. So it's kind of got a bit of an S bend here, which I think is pretty distinctive. So, but it has to, and it also has to be somewhere up here, like around, I'm not really sure which one it will be, but it has to be one of these bigger towns up here for my money, just from the way it looks. So yeah, let's get to looking here. This kind of thing could almost work. Doesn't really look like we're next to like a big intersection or anything, but we do have the mosque here. And yeah, the mosque won't show up because we don't have any labels. It will still kind of like be a bigger building on the map, which is always useful. So yeah, let's just get in here. So this is the exact right angle here. This is exactly right. It goes it's like this angle. However, we need it to bend around, and this one is not bending around in the way that we need it to. But it is a divided highway, so this is I still think it's pretty gettable. Like this kind of thing here almost worked quite nicely, I think. Whereas, yeah, kind of bending around to the west there. We do have like a big intersection here, which could easily be this one here, but I'm not seeing this kind of parking bay area as well. This like traffic lights is kind of weird because it doesn't look like we have like roads going out either side. So I mean, theoretically, that's not actually fitting too nicely, I would imagine. But the road angle is quite nice there, right? So that does at least make it somewhat of a contender here. Road angle is wrong. That's good to know. But still, I think that one actually had some potential here. It'd be great to know where the border of the two states is here. I think it's somewhere around here, but yeah, I don't think we can actually get any proper info. What about this here? This almost, like, again, looked good, but I think we're a little bit further out of town here. Which makes it interesting why we have a divided road, because divided roads around the world, not that common, all things considered. I'm a little bit worried that we could actually be looking in Thailand right now, but that should be Langkawi Island. I think we're actually, yeah, we're looking in the right spot here. This looks like a natural border as well. This should be Thailand over this side, I imagine. So, yeah, what about this town here? This could actually work. Not really feeling that one, I think. So yeah, we may be coming towards the end of my patience here. I don't know, like there are still like valid options. There's still like valid reason to keep searching here, I think, because this is pretty gettable. Okay, this one's divided. It goes at a pretty similar angle, especially if we were like over here. And it does bend to the west and to the southeast there. So I could actually see this one being somewhat possible here. So let's see if we can suss out some roundabout or something like that nearby. That's probably that intersection if we were there, so we'd be a bit further up here, but unfortunately, I'm not so sure because we're not that close to the bend. And it does kind of, it does look good though. It does honestly look good here. So let's check out like what kind of establishment. So we'd have to see a mosque here. I don't really see such a big building Like, this is a big complex, and I don't really see that going on to our west here, so I think this is wrong. However, like, I do think it's at least somewhat correct looking, right? So it does bend off to the east there. Yeah, it does. So, yeah, it's kind of interesting. We could keep our marker there for sure, but I just don't see the mosque working here. I don't know, just looking north here and then looking at this one, I think this bend is not quite harsh enough. So, unfortunate there. What about this, though? Ooh, had kind of written that off, but this also looks pretty decent. I think the road angle might be slightly too much here. Let's check it out. So that's it. Ooh, it's, you know, it's not too far off, but again, yeah, not quite it. So, yeah, this road had some real potential, a number of bends that looked really good, but unfortunately shouldn't be correct here. Okay, I've given a pretty good search here. I'm gonna go for where we originally had the marker here, just in case it is correct, though. I think this is not bending quite enough, like around to the northwest there. But I'm assuming we're not too far away here. Oh, it was the 5K. I don't believe it. I thought that bend wasn't enough. So there we go. We've done it. I'm actually so proud of myself there. That is not an easy one. And there you go. Wow, it's a pretty small town. But I've actually managed to line that up. I mean, obviously we're not ending there. Let's see if we can actually get back-to-back rounds there. That would be pretty crazy, I think. And here we go. So, I mean, we're in Spain. That's okay. And we have, or actually Italy, I think. We have the center of where? Okay, yeah, I mean, Italy's going to be bad unless I actually really know the place. So let's take a look around here. I think it said this place name on that sign, unfortunately. Nothing I recognize, I think. This could be Rome. So honestly feels quite familiar. I feel like this might be Rome. So what about this? Foggia. I don't know where Foggia is. I thought it might be further north, right? But I honestly do not remember. And I don't think it's gettable, honestly, for me. So that's okay, that's okay. Let's just see if we can do multiple in this seed, though. Because obviously the 25K is already out of contention. So, Foggia. I thought it might be one of these ones up here. Though I just really don't remember, to be honest with you. What about like this? No, that's something else. That's something too famous, I think. Yeah, I don't know where this one is. Let's go for this city here. Yeah, sorry that I don't know. And it was, oh, okay, it wasn't even in Foggia. Where's Foggia? Okay, Foggia is there. It's a fairly big place as well. I should have got that, but there we go. It's a bit further north there, a bit further south in Potenza. So, definitely a beautiful round, but unfortunately not one that was going to suit my skill set. I think even if we had found the town, it would have been difficult. This, though, is very gettable, so let's see if we can take a look around and get the town. So here we are. We're in Santander. Santander is, it's a port. Okay, that makes sense. We're next to water, of course. We have lots of pines here. I think it might be Spain, was my thought. Definitely feels like it probably is. Like the number plates are also not going to be like Italian, because they would be short if they were in Italy. Could that be a Romanian flag though? So now I'm trying to figure out, could this actually be? I mean, Puerto, I don't think sounds Romanian, nor does this particularly look like a Romanian coast. So yeah, I'm thinking this is Spain. And for that reason, I'm a little bit worried here. It's not Portuguese plates as well, so that's good to know. I'm not really sure what that flag is doing there. If you know, I'll be curious. But, okay, we have like some kind of memorial there. So to the north is our ocean. But I'm trying to work out if we can actually see anything else here. I think that actually does look like kind of northern Spanish architecture, so I do like that. And then, okay, it's pretty gettable here, I think, with like a lot of islands to our east there. Let's take a look, see if anything kind of stands out here. So, if we were, for example, here, feels like we're right next to the ocean though, right? It looks like kind of like this is a lookout, and it's like maybe a cliff to the ocean. So, what about this kind of thing here? So again, I think we have to see that island, right? So, there's not too many options here for a north coast in Spain. I feel maybe something around here even. Yeah, this should be very distinctive. We have like it's like some kind of peninsula with a castle on it, and then an island in front. This is very, very findable in my opinion. So let's just get to looking here. I think it could just pop out. It really could. Ooh, what about over here? I mean, I didn't necessarily think it was Balearics, but it is not out of the question at all. Though, yeah, I don't think it's there. I'm just thinking with the North Ocean, it did feel like this architecturally, and yeah, I don't really see an obvious point where this would be, so that's kind of my predicament at this stage. We do see something like a castle here. Without the labels, it's difficult to tell, but if, say this was the peninsula, we'd need bigger islands, though. The island in front of here is like still relatively big. And yet, it does feel at least somewhat correct, you know. So then we'd need to find where this point was. And again, like nothing really jumps out as particularly good here because we need to be next to some kind of building. It could be this kind of thing. It is at least round, so I like that. But the road theoretically runs right up to it, and it doesn't look like there's a road right next to this thing. So yeah, I don't think so, actually. I was just wondering if we actually might not be in Spain, but these are Spanish signs, so we're 100% there. And I'm still just curious, like this should chop pretty nicely when we find it. I think it's going to be pretty, like it's going to be a simple solve once we're at it. But I guess we have to like venture a bit further west here. It could still be something like this where we were, you know, out on the point like this and then looking. But yeah, nothing's jumping out, that's for sure. This is difficult, man. There's a whole lot of peninsulas here. And I just don't really see which ones would fit, considering when we look due north, we don't see anything like other coastline or anything like that. So it really is, the trick here is to look west and just try and get a really strong mental picture of what's going on there. Like when we look in this direction, it is actually kind of south of us, actually. Southeast of us, and we have that island, and then we have a big bay with a peninsula in it. Like, I'm picturing it, you know, but I just don't really see where that is. This almost looks promising here. So say we were up here. I don't really see where the point would actually be, unfortunately, but let's just suppose we were somehow here. We looked over here, and we kind of had this with the island in front. I just don't really see how this would be a castle. Like, it definitely looks like it's a castle. It might just be a village, though. Yeah, I'm not really confident here, guys, to be honest with you. We should have a car park there as well. Yeah, I just don't really see where this would be. So, yeah, I think I've scanned most of the relevant coastline here. I'm probably just going to go here for the fun of it because I don't really see where's the better option. So, I guess it would be here, but ultimately, I'm not feeling good about this guess. I think it is somewhere where I've scanned before, and I've just missed it, unfortunately, and I just don't really see, like, we've had a number of good, like, options, but most of them, like, I don't think the coastline really lines up. So, this is honestly pretty much a last-ditch effort. I don't believe this is correct. I think when we look north, we would see something, but maybe the building would be blocking it. Maybe we can see a land out there. I just don't think so, but I'm going to go for the guess here. Let's see where it actually is, and it was over here. Santander is pretty big. And so this is what it actually looked like. Yeah. Okay, this was all connected to us. And, okay, where's the castle, though? So this is out here. So, yeah, it was much more south of us than I kind of pictured in my mind. I kind of just pictured us jutting out more north, I thought. Like, because we're at the point, we'd be at the furthest north bit. But we're a bit further south there, so that's okay. But let's see if we can at least maybe... Ooh, with a bit of Australia for the last one here. Let's see if we can get this one. Okay, so Wodonga and Albury. I actually know places in Australia, so we should get this. I'm gonna make sure we get it. Okay. So I thought this was Canberra. This looked like Canberra to me. We had a lot of yellow number plates here, so it could be Sydney as well. But okay, let's see if we can get anything here. So the M31 takes us to Melbourne, and Albury is the opposite direction. So theoretically, or not necessarily opposite direction, but on a different highway. So Albury and Wodonga, maybe we're actually in Albury here, or like nearby. So Canberra, let's say we were in Canberra, okay? So if we wanted to drive to Albury, Albury is here, and Wodonga's here. So I don't really know why it's two separate highways to get to Albury and Wodonga, so it means we have to be kind of in line with it. So I would say that, and if both of those cities are mentioned, I don't think it'll be Sydney, right? That wouldn't quite make as much sense. So, okay, that's good. Now, we're next to the Gateway Village and the Army Museum. That would make sense for Canberra, right? Canberra, you definitely have things like Army Museum and airplane and stuff like that. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. It looks like it might be a Vic Road sign. So yeah, maybe we are actually in Victoria here, in which case, I would say we were actually in Wodonga, just over the Victorian side. So that's kind of the two options here. The amount of yellow plates would mean we have to be there because you wouldn't ever in Victoria elsewhere see so many yellow plates, right? Now, I just had a thought. If we have big bridges here, this is probably the state crossing, if anything. So, yeah, this should actually be a relatively easy 5K if I'm right about that. So, we would then be looking at, I mean, we have this big overpass. If we're correct, then we're going to find this really quickly because we got north-south. And it doesn't really seem like it is the case here. Unless we're right here. then I don't think it's the case. So what about this? Do these kind of split off in a meaningful way? Not really. So, but then we do have this running east to west, so that's kind of nice. So let's see, like we could have that. It looks almost correct here. So I'm just kind of going to try and work this out. So to our south, do we have like a kind of stores and another intersection over there? Yeah, we do. So that seems good. I think we might be on it here. This one goes straight for a while. So that would be this one. That feels good. Okay. So it doesn't say which direction we're going, but that's okay. Then this would turn into, yeah, I think this is correct because we have only one lane here, but this is divided over here because there's people coming in and out. And we can actually see that here, I think. So yeah, it is interesting that these kind of appear so wide apart, but that actually does make sense when you consider that there's like kind of a big nature strip between them. So I really thought this would be Canberra, but turns out it will just be here, I think. And we've actually got another 5K. So I would say that's right here, and it is. Ooh, guys. Okay, so that is pretty good for a video there. 22 minutes. We had to do a bit of scanning on the Spain one. But all in all, we did actually manage to get 2 5Ks there. So theoretically, with the right seed on this map, I could, I think with an hour, maybe get the 25K. If you want to see that, that's going to be a lot of pain. I don't know if I'm fully cut out for that, but if you want to see it, you never know, it could happen. But guys, thank you very much for watching the video. Go check out RC's video, of course, as well. And yeah, guys, I'll see you guys in a video very soon. Till next time, and goodbye.